I actually highlighted today a recent study by Indeed. We all know Indeed. Indeed is a job board, very popular job board. And there was a recent study where they actually surveyed over 1,000 Canadian employers. And that survey actually showed that there actually still is, a huge gap in the employment space. And it also showed that over 78% of 1,000 employers would hire for soft skills. So they are willing to overlook your degrees, your certifications, and hire you. So I really found that interesting because these are the things that I've been talking about all through the years, that being able to focus on your soft skills are the core things that employers are looking for. The truth is anyone can learn hard skills, but the soft skills are so important. And now that we see this economic downturn, we see that there are some roles and there are some industries that are highly affected. We want to also open up more opportunities for ourselves. Look at other job titles, look at other industries, open up more opportunities for yourself. Look at the skills that you already have that you can leverage in another industry. I'm going to highlight some things that I actually saw on this survey, which are very, very interesting. So what the employers are saying, Canadian employers are seeing value in people who have good attitude, willingness to learn, communication skills, teamwork, ability to handle pressure, and also being someone who is trainable. So these are the things that we're actually seeing. Another thing that we see here is critical thinking, leadership, work ethic, adaptability, time management, attention to detail, and having a positive attitude are actually what employers are looking out for. So when you look at jobs, there's a lot of transferable skills. Like I tell people, if you say you've had experience in, say, banking, for example, you can still work in other industries. If you have worked in accounting for a long time, and maybe you've only worked in a consulting company, you can still practice accounting in every industry. Same thing with, roles like business analysis and project management and product management. There's so many ways that you can leverage your experience and skills. All right. So, being able to leverage that. And I've said this all the time, like if you've ever been on any of my, webinars or masterclasses, I'm always heavy on not looking at the job titles. Even within the business analysis space, there's just so many opportunities. Focus on the job descriptions. Look at the soft skills that are required. Look at the similarities within the job description that you can actually leverage. And it's so important at this time, especially with what is happening right now with the economic situations and with some industries being heavily impacted by inflation. And then also, this is really the time to really focus on, your money, right? Being able to negotiate the best salary for you, being able to negotiate the right benefits for you. The inflation is, it's all over, it's global. So you want to think about all of these things when you're negotiating and when you're moving to another job. So if you're currently in a permanent role, moving to a contract position, or you're moving to another permanent position, you want to think about all of these things before you make that leap. Also, a lot of the companies that we see right now that are actually struggling, you want to keep your ears to the ground, watch the news, read business news. If the company is a publicly traded company, check out their stocks. How well are their stocks doing? Go on the news and see what's happening recently. Have there been any recent layoffs? Have they had to cut back on, some maybe a launch or something like that? So you want to take a look at all of those things before you make that leap. Another thing is, what I also find is that LinkedIn is really, really, really a heavy source of, job referrals, a heavy source of building your network, so don't underestimate the power of LinkedIn. I have so many students who have been able to land jobs by actually just creating a fantastic LinkedIn profile, keeping that profile active, turning on their open to work. You don't need to always put the green banner on your LinkedIn, but make sure in the back end, you turn on your open to work. And then, of course, recruiters can reach out to you for those roles. And of course, when you do, when you do start to get those connections, then, you can always let them know the roles that you're open for, let them know you're open to multiple opportunities. Something to also note with LinkedIn is that, when you're trying to build your network, you want to always focused on common ground. That's something that I have always used to build my network on LinkedIn, right? So people went to the same schools as you, people have worked at the same companies just like you. You can actually filter on LinkedIn and actually, connect with them. Let them know that you're looking for work. Let them know the options that you have. So, maybe business analyst, project coordinator, project analyst, product analyst, project management officer, associate project manager. There's so many opportunities within every space, within HR, within accounting. So reach out to these people, let them know the kind of roles you're open to. You can also sell yourself on the skills you have. I've had experience, building products. I've had experience selling. I've had experience managing accounts. I've had experience building new products. I've had experience managing client experiences. So that experience can be transferred from one job title to another, right? So that focus is very important when you're building those connections. And then it's always good to follow up. People are very busy. It's summer. People are traveling. So you want to always follow up. And follow up is very, very important. And then if you're also, applying for work right now and you feel like nobody is responding to you, it's summer, people are traveling, people are taking breaks. During summertime as well, there's a lot of internships and co-ops. So that might be their focus. The soft skills that you have are so important. And that is actually the key. The truth is anyone can learn technology, anyone can learn tools, anyone can learn all of these things, but the soft skills are so important. And that's what we're seeing with, Canadian employers specifically, who are actually saying that they're actually hiring for soft skills. In fact, 78% said they are open to hiring candidates who don't possess a degree or certifications. And even more said that their companies invest in training inexperienced employees to fill certain roles. So the truth is, companies are willing to train you for those technical and industry skills as long as you have those soft skills. But you have to demonstrate that you do have those soft skills. And then also, 7% of the employers say that they actually support in-house training and development, while 40% of employers actually say that they provide additional compensation for continuing education. And this is something that I tell my students all the time, and I tell everyone in my community. A lot of times, your employer wants you to succeed. So if you want to take a course, you want to take a program, you can actually reach out to your manager and ask, how much do I have allocated to me as my educational reimbursement fund, right? There's an amount every year that is allocated to each employee. You can actually leverage this as well. So what we see employers doing is that they would rather hire people with the soft skills and use that fund to train them with the hard skills. I remember working in the business analysis team, and we were only two, I think, that knew SQL, structured query languages. And the company actually took everyone on a training. They flew us out to a training company to learn SQL, right? So a lot of times there's a lot of companies that they know that you already have those soft skills. They know that you have some industry experience. They know you have knowledge about that industry. They know you have the soft skills required, especially careers like business analysis, right? You don't need to be an expert in all of these things. And that's why when people reach out and say they're learning Python and this and that, that's fantastic if you can learn it on your own. But that should not stop you from applying to jobs simply because you do not have those, those technical skills. And then another thing I wanted to add as well is what I also shared is volunteering. So I always say this all the time. Volunteering is such an important part of your personal development, right? If you're looking for work, don't just, sit at home and not do anything. Start to volunteer. When I arrived Canada, the first week I got into Canada, I started volunteering. And that volunteer position opened up more opportunities for me. So find ways to volunteer. Volunteer with nonprofits, volunteer with community associations, volunteer with small businesses who cannot afford to hire. And that way you have something in your resume to show that you're actually building those soft skills. A lot of the nonprofits they have leadership positions on their boards. They have committees as well. You can actually start to volunteer in all those positions. And those can be on your resume. So those are ways you can showcase soft skills. So you want to think about how you can leverage, all of that when you're going into, a new role or as you're job seeking. So someone says, I feel companies are emphasizing domain experience over traditional BA practice and soft skills. I don't think so. You can leverage the core BA skills and soft skills. Domain experience is good. It depends on the industry, but I've seen people transition from one industry to the other so many times. So I think it really just depends on how you're coining your resume. Also, if you have worked in multiple industries, it is okay to put it on your resume. In your professional summary, you should state it there. Business analyst with 8 years of experience in oil and gas, manufacturing, healthcare, financial services. That's fine. That shows you have broad industry experience. It is not a bad thing to have multiple industry experiences. That actually shows that you have worked in several industries and that you're very, very adaptable. How do you get volunteering jobs? How do you get volunteering jobs is, so you can check Indeed. I've seen volunteer jobs on Indeed, even volunteer BA jobs. Someone just told me she got a volunteer BA job on Indeed. So you can actually try with Indeed. You can also reach out to these nonprofits. A lot of times it's probably on their website. You can reach out to them, and even if they don't have any opportunities open, then nothing stops you from actually just sending an email and saying, these are my skills, these are the ways I can help you based on what I've done in the past. So say you were an executive assistant before, so you can take minutes of meetings, you can create documentation, you can send emails. For example, as an executive assistant, you can leverage that experience volunteering with a company, really. And companies, especially all these nonprofits, they're always looking for people to volunteer with them. How do I get a part-time job in business analysis as a student in Canada? Indeed, LinkedIn. I've seen people who have gotten opportunities that way. They're definitely rare, hard to find, not as easy to find as permanent jobs, but they're available. But of course, very competitive. So LinkedIn and Indeed. And then another thing is really just, I have to say this, but you need to be bold. And I think the boldest people are able to get the best, right? And what I mean by being bold, emailing or sending cold emails or LinkedIn messages. I've had so many people reach out to me that sends me cold emails and cold LinkedIn messages, and just really selling themselves. And even if I cannot hire them at that point, I can refer them to someone else. Or when I'm ready to hire, I can always refer back to that message. So I really want you guys to go out there. Do not be shy. Message hiring managers. Start finding those volunteering positions, because your soft skills will land you jobs instead of hard skills. How much can a junior BA with 1 year experience earn? It depends on your location, Kings. I don't know where you're located, but I'm sure you can use Glassdoor or Indeed or levels.fyi to actually see how much a junior BA will earn. But that would be very entry level if you do not have experience. When you have worked in multiple industries, it's not a disease. A lot of times, a lot of us people like me who have worked in multiple industries, you feel like, oh, I've worked in just so many places. It makes it seem like, no, I would rather hire you because you're very adaptable. Moving from oil and gas to hospitality to banking, back to manufacturing, back to education, that shows adaptability, that you could actually thrive in those different industries. How do you apply for jobs that need 5+ years of experience, even though you are not that experienced, but you have the educational qualifications? So what kind of jobs are you applying for? Because even if you don't have the years of experience, if you can actually show that with the experience you have done things that are relevant to that role. So say, for example, within the 2 or 3 years of experience that you have led some initiatives within the business you work at, you have recommended new initiatives, you can show that you have supported the business to achieve some business goals and outcomes. I believe that trumps over, years of experience. Also, if you've taken any trainings, gotten any certifications that are relevant to the role, you can add that there. But what is really important is just showcasing how you have added value. Being able to add value is more important than than all those years of experience that you're thinking you need. And then another thing I would like to sort of highlight is really this industry experience. A lot of times, if you have only done one thing, you feel like, oh, this is the only way I can work.